And in another development, Mr. Onyi Umejuberu, a political and public policy strategist, has described the current government as a lazy government, faulting the continuous borrowing by the government while the economy struggles. He made this known during the ACNNTV morning show, now streaming.
We are not a hard-working government. It's a lazy government, actually. So that's why we keep on borrowing. And again, when you watch and ask, what are we borrowing for? We borrow to run our budget. We are not borrowing to invest and maybe bring back the money and pay off our debt. They haven't actually studied the economic trajectory of Nigeria and position it for a better space. So the economy is struggling on its own and trying to survive. So some of these loan things are just to rub and shine it, because it doesn't solve any of our problems. 34.1 trillion, if it's not managed well, won't solve insecurity, it won't solve infrastructure. So some of those things are just basically to find a way to cushion the direct effect of the fact that Nigeria is not getting so much internally anymore. You look at our mineral resources, how they are mined all over the country without proper check. You look at our taxation system, very weak. We are using basket to pack water. Our revenues are not well streamlined. People are picketing from revenues. There's a lot of human hands involved in our revenue collection. So people return what they feel like is good enough to return to the government. With these things, we cannot generate enough. And of course, when you don't have, the government needs to keep running. That's why we keep borrowing. We don't have an option now. What do you want them to do? They need money to run the government, and there is no money. They have not structured the government so well to bring in the funds. So the funds are going into individuals' accounts and pockets. So if government is good, we don't need to borrow funding from any human being. You see, this dollarization of our economy is one psychological mishap that has happened in the mindset of the Nigerian government. When they are borrowing, instead of writing that they want to borrow 34.1 trillion naira, they will write that they are borrowing $24.1 billion. That alone psychologically is killing our little value of the naira.
Meanwhile, another guest on the morning show, Alhaji Matthew Gune, an anti-corruption correspondent with the Guardian newspaper, emphasized that Nigeria is still borrowing to service the flamboyant lifestyles of politicians. Yet another guest on the show, Honorable Daniel Felix Okorafo, a politician, said borrowing is not a good virtue, and also stated that if the country is in the hands of those who can manage well, there will be no need to borrow.
Nigeria is just borrowing to service the flamboyant lifestyle of politicians.
Very good.
That is just the fact. Because if you see this, check the activities of your lawmakers. There's no clear cut about where this Nigeria is moving to. Not until Nigeria starts looking inward, the country will not move forward. Nigeria always believe that the solution is there. No, the solution is not there. The solution is in this country. The fact that Nigeria is seeking loan from Western world, or what do we call it? The failure of government. Because these countries are not richer than us in terms of resources. But for the fact that we are going to them, it means that we don't have people even running the government. We just have people that just come together and just say, this is how we want the country to go. And that is it. Citizens don't even have say in government. So when we sanitize the anti-corruption system, the network very well, I believe Nigeria will not have any need to borrow, because these funds we are talking about, they are in the hands of few. They are in the hands of political leaders in the country. But if you check, the chairman of the SEC is being appointed by the president. And the president is working with those that are holding the funds. So even when the man wants to work, he doesn't really have this free hand to work.
If the country is in the hands of those who can manage very well, you will find out that we can live, we can dwell as a nation without borrowing. There's this common saying that says that he who goes a borrowing goes a sorrowing. It's not a good virtue to always want to borrow. But this borrowing has become a thing, a reoccurring event in Nigeria. Every day we are running out to borrow. Every day we are running out to borrow. We borrowed for what? We borrowed to sponsor expenditures. We borrowed to sponsor salaries. We borrowed to sponsor indirectly campaigns, which do not yield anything to the coffers of the country. So it is very bad that we are borrowing every day. When you have over 200 million persons, you cannot run out of ideas. It seems that the government is running out of ideas. That's when you go for borrowing. So, but when you can create something from nothing, you hardly go borrowing. The government has run out of ideas. Successive governments. I don't only mean this government. So until we get it right, until we have good leaders that will put the round pegs in round holes and square pegs in square holes, we will continue to go borrowing.